We are Embrace the Suck 21.
Yes, we are.
I'm Spencer.
And I'm Daniel.
And this is episode 9 of Fred Dibnah's Made in Britain.
Heck
Engines at Work is the title of this one. And from the last one, it said that they'd be looking at building steam engines like locomotives.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to find my center. I'm just moving around.
You're fine.
I'm just moving around.
I'm super excited for that.
Yeah. This is like your dream, dude. This is your dream, right? Trains.
Yeah. I said at a previous one, I would love to drive one of them. In fact, I've had a few offers from folks in this community to pay for me to do that. I'm like, very sweet, but don't waste your money on me. It's some idiot on the internet.
All I know is if you go over there and you jump on a train, you better be headed somewhere important.
Yeah, I'm gonna be delivering. I don't know. I don't know what I'll be delivering.
Beer. Yeah.
Beer.
Yeah, yes. That's pretty important.
Hell yeah. Anyway, You ready to go in?
Oh, always, man.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1.
Fred Dibnah is now 8 weeks into his grand tour of industrial Britain. It's a celebration of the fact that after 27 years, he's just completed his rebuild of the engine, and also of the remarkable achievements of the engineers and industrial workers whose endeavours made it possible to build an engine like this in the first place. He wants to see the sort of place where an engine like this would have been built. Today, the only places where you can get any idea of what was involved in building big steam engines on a large scale is at the works of some of the preserved railways. So Fred is on his way from Ashbourne in Derbyshire to Bridgnorth in Shropshire, where he's going to have a look at some of the engine building that is going on in the workshops of the Severn Valley Railway. It's a long journey, about 80 miles in total.
Wow. Well, yeah.
And Fred's engine isn't the fastest vehicle on the road.
Oh, really? It isn't?
Yeah.
So Fred and his team are going to break their journey and have an overnight stop here at the headquarters of the North Staffs and Cheshire Traction Engine Club.
All these lads have a pint ready for us.
Members keep their engines here and generally come at the weekends to work on them or to take them off to rallies.
Never do get here.
So far, we've seen the traction engine as a mode of transport for getting Fred and his team around the country. But these engines were real workhorses, and in their time, they were put to a whole variety of uses.
A traction engine's a strange machine that were developed really from a lot of other engines. It all starts off in the 1840s when the country of all places where all the effort were put in by either animals or the human frame. The men in the country, the blacksmiths and village mechanics, as you might say, decided that they would make a small locomotive boiler and then stick on top of it a crankshaft and a cylinder with a flywheel and place it on 4 wooden wheels. So it could be used to drive thrashing machines and big saws and all that sort of stuff. It can be used in quarries to crush stone. It can be used to work portable water pumps. It was like a general doer of all things on working sites.
Wow.
Here at the traction...
That's amazing there.
So the traction engine was like an afterthought. It was almost like a portable generator.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I guess the idea came later to put wheels on it and, transport it to the other village that needed, I don't know, firewood or beer or something like that.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I mean, now that he says it, I'm like, oh, okay, because it has that wheel. You can put a belt on it, and it can power other things.
Yeah.
So, well, it's interesting to me because I'm like, it just. Because in my mind, early on, I'm like, what could this thing do? Like, what was its purpose? Like, over here we had the big combine harvesters, the big tractors, and then each of them have different kinds of hitches and accessories to go along with that to fill out the machine's purpose.
Yeah.
But at the root of it, it's just the cab, you know? And that's interesting to know that like everywhere else, any kind of workshop was, let's say, the accessory. You want to, let's go fire up the wood mill, drive this thing there, hook up the belts, and we got a wood mill. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Multi-purpose.
It's I think that's awesome.
Yeah. And like from earlier, like I like the fact that there's like a club of like places that traction engine enthusiasts can gather and, you know, have a pint and discuss everything, and really awesome.
It's super important because that keeps it alive longer.
Yeah.
You know? So that's awesome. It's so cool. Like when people that embrace the same passion you do, it's really nice. It's really nice. So I do appreciate that. So yeah.
Yeah. Same here.
Engine Club, we get the chance to see the engines at work.
Hey up, Fred.
Hiya.
Phil Jeffs is the chairman of the club.
Yeah, it's a few years now since I last came, and
It is.
things are looking just as nice. It's a lovely place, this, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, you could live in here, you know. I could. How many living rooms have you got here altogether?
Oh, I never counted. There's probably 15 or 20.
Yeah, I bet there is.
Whoa.
Yeah. What are you doing today, anyway?
You've just arrived in time.
That's like ancient RV,
Mobile home. Yeah.
mobile home type thing, or RV or mobile home. That's either one could work there.
Yeah.
That's like that was the equivalent of it back then.
That's crazy. All right,
Or-
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to pull that dead poplar out there.
Yeah.
And we want to use the wood for some
Yeah.
brake blocks for the
Yeah,
engine.
it's good for that.
It's
It don't
supposed to-
set on fire, does it?
That's supposed to be the
Yeah,
best.
that's a fact. Yeah.
And we're going to use the
Yeah.
traction engine
yeah,
to
the winch
winch
for,
it out.
to pull it down. Yeah.
We got Lady Hamilton to anchor
Yeah,
it just in
yeah.
case. Let's hope it comes down as clean as one of your chimneys.
Yeah. Well, it should be.
Yeah,
We should be safe enough here, shouldn't we?
I hope so.
The boss is winding the
Shot
wire.
blocks. Well, you've got some tension on the rope anyway.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, bro. I reckon if we went about 15 or 20 foot up the tree, it'd have it easy. So you've got a lot of power, that. When it'll bloody pull something like that apart. I mean, look at that, look, what it's done to that. Yeah. I'll tell you what, if we go up 15 foot and it fails again, a double purchase, you know. Yeah, with a snatch block and hooked up back at the engine.
Here we go.
Somebody's coming with the stacker truck.
Didn't the steeplejacking used to be Fred's job?
Easy way to go up in the world.
Right.
I'll let him do it now with that. Get it up there.
I heard it creak, but I think there was a lot more left.
A lot more creaks. We just done a big tree in our garden, you know, with bloody tuppers and all sorts, and engine, that thing weren't done, you know, we've got a nice winch on it.
That's
With the rope fixed
crazy.
higher up the tree, are they going to have any more success getting it down? It's a bit like waiting to see one of Fred's chimneys come down.
Oh yeah. It's a throwback.
Yeah.
Fresh start.
Another kind of
Right, they're
throwback.
going for a pull.
Yes, it's coming.
Ember!
Thing snapped nice and clean, didn't it?
Yeah.
You want to get the stump out now. Resort to dynamite.
Now it's time to get the tree sawed up for those brake blocks. And at a place like this, of course, the whole operation's going to be done by steam power.
It's amazing how many different makers there were of these things. Ransom, Sims and Jeffries, Savages, King's Lynn, Fowlers in Leeds, Evelyn and Porter, Greens in Leeds, McLaren's in Leeds. There's literally dozens of these companies. Some only in a small way, like a village agricultural engineer that bought the casting somewhere else and assembled his own thing.
Crazy, man.
And what's Fred trying to get?
He's made of mahogany, you see. It's on 3 inches thick, 7 inches deep, and 15 inches long, really. Can we remember all that? Really? Oh, wait a minute. With no paper.
Here.
Yeah. 3 inches. 3 inches by 7 inches.
Yeah.
That's giving me throwback vibes to your construction days there.
Oh my God, yeah. Like
Yeah.
the pencil is paramount. Like, like, oh my God, man.
Yeah.
I want to know, somewhere in a different reality, a different dimension, there's maybe about 1,000 carpenter pencils floating in the void that I have lost. Like right along with socks. And just, I guess, my carpenter pencil is the equivalent of your picks, probably.
Yes, 100%. Even though I have one right here, but I've definitely lost a few in my time, just falling everywhere. And they're there with all the pens and cigarette lighters and
Oh my God,
yeah, all those things, all those, and loose change.
100%.
Mhm.
100%, man. Lose fucking change. Yeah, every time.
Oh yeah.
I think, Colin, we've got our cutting list here. We couldn't find any paper, so our brake box are made of mahogany, and that's the real McCoy, this, isn't it? This stuff.
Yeah.
But so if you could be so kind, and then we can leave them for season, and then we can throw them away and make nice brand new ones.
Right. You won't have to varnish.
I'll buy you a pint.
You
later.
won't have to varnish these, will you?
No.
All right, then we'll do that then.
And now it's time for an old traction engine rally tradition.
We'll put the steps and the stick on, and then we'll declare the bar open.
That's it. This is very good. Yes, excellent. All right. I think really bringing this barrel of bitter here has all the potential for a good booze up, a steam booze up.
A barrel?
No, a farmer's
In the olden days, we used to.
You got a keg. It's a keg party now.
He brought his own cake. I like this man. My respect for this man went up. Like, not even like, oh, a little barrel. Like, I love that. This man brought a keg. It's a kegger now. Hell yeah.
That's the spirit of Dibnah.
That's the way to travel.
Yeah.
Like, go.
Who knew a traction engine meetup would get we're about to get out of hand here?
Oh, probably, man. Anywhere where there's 4 more dudes and engines, alcohol will be present.
Yeah.
Even if no one brings it, it'll find a way just to appear.
Yeah.
So,
that's no matter where you are in the world.
Yeah.
Just dudes being guys.
Just dudes being guys, man. Love this.
Arrive at the steam rally with a full barrel of bitter and a load of glasses, and a lot of other people did as well, so it saved you spending your hard-earned cash at the beer tent, which were always inflated prices. It always led to unbelievable drunkenness.
Any more?
Not done it for a bit, so I'm quite looking forward to this afternoon. I'll go have a talk with my mates over here. Hello, chaps, how you doing?
Hi, Fred.
Oh, Fred.
All right.
Sit down.
Oh, it reminds me of my early misspent youth. How's your machine going, Colin?
Well, we can't wear it out.
Eh?
We can't wear it
Can't
out.
worry out.
We're sewing more times than we're standing doing nothing at events this year. Trouble is, if you don't do it, the only thing the younger generation know in relation to a steam engine is Thomas the Tank Engine, isn't it?
Yeah.
And how many people walk up to you and say, "What were they used for, master?"
Yeah. Hello, friend. I'm like, oh, look who's here.
He's trouble. He's
He's a
trouble. I
steam
should
man,
ban
aren't you?
him.
An up-and-coming steam man. Oh, they tell me you used to have some of the railways as well.
Yes, Seven Valley Railway.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
there
that's
in
a
the week.
big outfit, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Very good.
Yeah.
You have to come along sometime.
Yeah, well, I think we're going there in a bit. You know.
Oh, yeah? Come
Yeah,
and
we'll
find
call
us.
and have a look at you.
Yeah.
What exactly do you do there?
I'm a fitter machinist there.
Yeah. Like the lathes and all that, like.
Yeah, all that. Then we go and put them on the engines.
Yeah.
All the bits we do.
Richard Jeffs has grown up with steam and engineering in his blood. He's part of a new generation keeping the world of steam alive.
Hey, Fred. How we doing? All right. We're just talking about the Steam Apprentice Club.
Oh, that's a good idea, that really.
Yeah.
Isn't it? You know, I mean, it's amazing how many kids there are. You know, somebody mentioned it earlier. Bloody Thomas the Tank Engine, and how does it work and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Eh?
Well, we got nigh on 700 kids in the Apprentice Club now.
That's good.
So,
Wow. Movements, isn't it?
Ah.
Really?
Saying I was just talking to John, I joined when I was 12 years old.
Yeah,
I'm
look
25
at
now.
You're old man now, yeah. It's amazing. I don't realise how old I am. You know, you get blokes come, big as him, and they say, "When I was little, you let me have a ride on your steamroller." You know.
Well, that's what starts them off, and then they come along. And nowadays, because everything's got to be a bit more controlled and regulated, we've got a logbook scheme so that youngsters actually work through a scheme which takes them through the basics of working an engine.
Yeah.
That's the problem these days, is that kids are more interested in PlayStations and steam engines just seem to take a background. And I'm just glad that the Steam Apprentice Club is bringing it forward, introducing the younger generation to the steam engine, because eventually I'm going to get old. And I want people younger than me
Following on
behind me.
Jack's like he took to it like a duck to water, really.
There's some people you could train them for 10 years and they still never know.
I know what you mean. Jack sort of.
Man, that's great to hear. That at least, you know, early 2000s, there was still a program that was introducing the steam engine to the younger generation, and there's plenty of people in. There's like 700, I think I said.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that's awesome. Like, it's just it's really nice when there's like a niche club for something that it's dying out, you know, because it's not a necessity. It's more of a luxury or a hobby, right?
Yeah.
Like back then, they weren't aficionados. They were like, I need this steam engine to work because my livelihood depends on it. Therefore, I know the ins and outs of this machine.
Yeah.
Not by choice, but by necessity. And now all these guys have created a club that's just appreciation of this machine and teaching younger generations and sparking that curiosity. Because by proxy, it keeps all the other trades that we visited along his route alive.
Yeah.
If
100%.
there are more people doing steam engine shit, guess what? Well, they're going to need the same smelters, all that kind of stuff that he needed to get his stuff up and running. So it feeds the like, I don't want to say niche, but it feeds those trades that we visited.
Yeah,
so
it keeps
far.
the trades alive. Really keeps the backbone of the country going, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
The introduction to steam engines were unavoidable, really. I mean, he arrived into an household full of steam engines. He's always shown a great and dedicated interest in the world of steam engines. He's pretty smart, and he started his first job on the Isle of Man Railway Company.
Nice.
So, he's not half-heartedly going about it. Quite proud of him, really. I mean, you've heard how dedicated Roger is to it. I want to go, Dad, I want to go. Back to bed.
But for Fred, too many of these skills have been lost.
Somewhere along the line from the Victorian age, we started to lose it. I think a lot of it's got to do with education. I remember a period when they threw all the lathes out to technical colleges and all the woodwork benches and everything with theory. A man can learn how to lay bricks now in 6 months. That's impossible. Can you imagine lads doing catering, cooking? I know everybody wants to be a Foyd, is it? It's all a bit sad in a way. I can't see that teaching a little lad today at school how to bake a cake is any way to run an industrial empire.
And one of the things that's given Fred great satisfaction as he's travelled around making his programmes is the number of young people he's seen learning the skills that are needed to keep steam alive.
I'm in charge of the water. Are we ready?
And it's not just been the lads. And here at the Traction Engine Club, they need as many young enthusiasts as they can get, because there's plenty of work to be done.
We've got a low spot in the...
All right, I just want to say, I agree with him and disagree with him at the same time in that little bit. There's nothing wrong with men making cakes, things like that. It's everyone's got to eat. Everyone loves cake. But to his point of, where's wood shop? Where's woodworking and, shop in schools? That's a problem here in America as well, is that there's not as much, hands-on, salt of the earth type, blue collar training, even in regular public schools.
Yeah, and that's a huge problem, because it's not like woodworking, wood shop, and I would say for us it was like the mechanic side of stuff. I forgot what is auto shop. Yeah, something like that. Shop, whatever that is. I forgot what the little course name was, but it's basically learning the trade of being a mechanic, or the aspect of working on cars, right? Yeah. And then you had wood shop. Well, those things, they're not just about being a mechanic. It's about learning how to work, how to know where you're. It's just so much more than just what you signed up for. Like woodworking is measuring, it's math, it's design, it's how precise you can be. It's there's so much more into that trade than just working with wood. Right. It's problem solving. It's, finding solutions, thinking outside the box, things like that. Yeah. And that's what's missing out of schools right now. Mm-hmm. It's not just learn, regurgitate. At least wood shop and there's different types of extracurricular classes that I think you might have still had, taught you how to think outside the box to achieve a goal. There was a couple. I don't remember too much about them. I think it was leaning more towards like computer science, because it's Northern Virginia. It was more advanced as it were. Kind of forgotten it's necessary to think outside the box with things like that, not prepare people to just for desk jobs. But that's another rant for another day. That's a massive soapbox that I'll join you on someday. Well, another time. The
ground here, it's all made up ground. And it tends to puddle in the winter and everything. So what they're doing is using the club engine Lady Hamilton. It's got a scarifier on, and they're digging the ground up, and we're going to try and level it out and roll it back down.
It's handy, isn't it, when you've got all your own road making gear?
Well, it's been restored. Let's use it for the purpose that it was designed, really. If we can't make a road here, then nobody can. Just putting a few roofing tiles in to make up the ground.
Yeah, I can see.
There you go.
They're good, them, aren't they? The Redland.
Yes.
Yeah, my drive were my tarmac bit joins onto the cinders. It keeps bloody disappearing though. I could do doing a bit of that myself, like.
The proof will be next time it rains.
It should be all right.
I should think so. Yes.
And now some more old friends to meet.
Hello, Leonard. Hello. Not drunk. It's my leg. It's a bit wacky.
You all right, mate? You all right?
Not so bad, mate.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I see you still like the old Guinness job.
Oh, yes. I've just been to the pub for this.
Hey!
Very fortunate I'm in this club here.
It's good planning.
With a pub with outside at gates and one of this and a motley collection of steam engine owners. They're brilliant.
How long's it been going then? We come 30 years ago.
I don't know. The filter guy today, he was 30 or 40 years.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, it's nice down, isn't it? I heard a rumour you've got a bit of a problem with old firebox.
Yeah, on the Fowler.
Aye.
Well, it's the old story. I've had it, 35 years now. And the old boiler, of course, has to be inspected every 10 years for hydraulic pressure. I've got it all stripped ready at home for the inspection. He looked at the boiler tubes and he said, I'm afraid the boiler tubes aren't changing. But I've been without an engine now for 2 months.
Yeah.
and I'm getting a bit sort of...
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah. It's like going to a steam rally without your engine, you do out of place. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
So doing the riveting, you know, you know the noise it makes.
Yeah.
Well, I've had to go next door neighbours, 2 or 3 that way,
Tell
and
them.
2 or 3 that way. So
Yeah.
it's between 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, I'm riveting again.
Yeah.
So they all arrange to go out shopping.
Wait a minute, right.
And this is where Len Crane does all that riveting. The Bratch pumping station is near Wolverhampton, and as well as working on his traction engines here, Len's devoted years of his life to restoring the great triple expansion engines in here that we use for pumping the water.
Nice.
When Fred left the Traction Engine Club the next day, he called in to see how his old mate was getting on with the job.
The last time we come, you showed me all the engine and most of it were in bits, weren't it?
Take you to pieces,
And
yes.
now you've worked out how many years? About 6 or 7
6 years.
Oh, yeah.
Well, 91 we first came in to start.
Yeah.
And
And you had no boiler, did you? No,
Nothing at all.
Yeah,
Nothing at
yeah.
all.
And
I
now
bought the
it's-
boiler second hand from a lemonade factory.
Yeah.
They found that it wasn't big enough, the capacity
Yeah.
of the steam.
Yeah.
I had to buy a bigger
Bigger
one.
boiler, so you got
And I bought that
cheap one.
second hand, yeah.
But the engines inside, them are a credit to them, man. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
You could use them in any sort of big liner pictures like the Titanic job.
When I was 12 years old,
Mm-hmm.
we used to be in the field next door and we built our first 3.5 and 5 inch gauge miniature railway.
Yeah.
And I cycled to there from West Bromwich.
From home, right?
Yeah, from West Bromwich. And we built the railway there. And a Sunday evening, when we shut down, I used to walk along the canal to here, knock the door, and the
Yeah.
chief engineer then, Mr. Hunt, used to let us come in and watch the engines going.
Oh, that's nice.
Never thinking when I was coming up to
Big
70,
man,
I'd have the keys.
Yeah, I've
I'd
done
have the
things
keys.
like that, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, when you're little and
Yeah.
and you,
Yeah.
you're looking with your mouth open at it all, and then bloody hell, later on in your life,
That's right.
you're actually in charge.
I've not done the engines like my traction engines and
Yeah.
models before, but never done one that big. I don't think I shall do one any bigger now.
No. We're getting a bit long into it.
Too.
It's bigger than that. Yeah, we'll go down.
Man, seeing those big, steam powered things, like it's again, it shocks me that those were made so long ago and by humans who didn't like I guess the technology seemed like it wouldn't be appropriate for that time, and yet it stood the test of time.
Yep, and it's still with a little bit of upkeep, still works the way it should.
Yeah,
like that's crazy. Because I mean, nowadays stuff just doesn't last.
No.
You put anything you have now that you rely on, right? Put it in a shed for 60, 70 years, and then go with minimal effort try to get it back to functional. Won't work. Won't work. It's not. It's built different then. Things are built to last then. So
exactly.
Oh.
Down into the pumping department.
Yes. Oh, in here, Fred. This is where it all goes on.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Only running light, of course. If you imagine if it was pumping water, there'd be a hell of a throb in here now. In fact, this is what they used to hear over the road in the houses I mentioned before. I think the flywheels as well, you see. I mean, they're hell of a thing, aren't they?
Yeah.
The crankshaft, of course, that was made at Liverpool and stamped on it. Is the year it was forged, manufactured, which was 1892, I think, it's all the three.
Wow.
Yeah, just think of bottom at sea, there'll be a lot of things like that. Right?
Oh yeah, lovely engine.
All barnacles.
Yeah, lovely.
Not shiny like this.
It's crazy.
Insanity.
Now
man.
it's time for the Severn Valley Railway. And Fred's still finding it a bit of a novelty to be driving his own engine.
It's quite strange, really, because never having owned a traction engine of my own,
Oh man.
even though I've driven quite a few dozen of different makes, you go to steam dealers and they all, you want to go on my engine and all that, right? And of course it's quite nice when you get a chance to drive your own. After 20 odd years of struggling and restoration to get it into the state that I wanted it, like a new one, as you might say.
That is so cool. Like all these people are on the side of the road waving him on.
Yeah.
That's some more Thomas the Tank Engine vibes.
Yeah.
there.
I love that, man. I freaking love that.
Yeah,
Man.
he's a hero. And
Yep.
I guess word got out when he was filming this that he's coming through here. He's coming through here.
Yep. And people like are lining up to see him. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
It's
word
awesome.
of mouth.
Right, we're here.
Oh, at last.
Yeah.
Fred and his team have now reached Bridgnorth in Shropshire. The Severn Valley Railway runs trains between here and Kidderminster in Worcestershire. The line was built in the mid-1850s.
Wow.
Here there's an engine repair shed which gives us an idea of what a loco works would have been like back in the age of steam railways.
I don't
Fred met John Robinson, the production manager, to have a look round.
Bit outsized for this line,
Yeah.
which is built in the
I've been before as a spectator, right?
Yeah,
That reminds me of when I was a kid down here.
yeah,
Plenty of smoke and the smell of sulphur. Yeah.
yeah,
This is nice, isn't it?
yeah. That's right. He's on test for the vehicle
Yeah.
acceptance body there, rescue.
Yeah.
This engine over here,
Yeah.
that's an 8F. There was 840 of them on BR.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
one was out in the Second World War. He was out in Persia and Egypt. Let's have a look on board then.
Aye. Now then. Oh, there we go. Right. Aye.
This is Roy. He's just been getting it ready.
You've been warming it up.
Warming it up, yep.
Yeah. Fire all those summer, didn't it? Big lumps then, aren't they?
Yeah, that's nice stuff.
Yeah, I call it, when it's good, I call it radioactive cold. You know, when you get some, but it's a waste of space, isn't it? You know, as soon as you start taking any steam off, it just disappears. Pipe work's nice and simple on here, isn't it? There's not too much of it, like
No.
injectors and brake job.
I can pick it straight up then,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
It's funny,
Yeah.
if you go from a steam engine from the LMS, you go on a Western one, you can still pick up what's what on it, even though they're from different companies, you can actually pick it out on there. When the wars came, the government and that were quite surprised at the ability of the workshops, of the railways, of what they could actually do.
Yeah,
And of course they started to turn them into working for the war effort.
Yeah.
They got tremendous, the railway factories, they really were. I don't think we can make a bean can now.
Yeah, well, you're getting near to the point. You can pick a
bean
book
can.
up about
Can't even make a
boiler
bean
making,
can.
and it's written by an academic who's never mended a boiler, and I made one.
That's right.
And it says, and the rivets are closed.
Yes.
It doesn't tell you how they're closed. And there's no way you're going to learn that by reading the book.
You like to go and have a look at the workshops then?
Oh, yeah. Well,
be all
come
right?
on, follow you, John.
Okay,
Like-
right. Magic.
There's a bear crap in the woods.
Tell
Yeah.
us you come down.
I love that though.
From being a good shed, we gutted it.
Yeah, all those engines there, they're straight out of Thomas, the Tank
Yeah.
engine.
But I love what he said is like they tell you to close it, right? And like whatever he was talking, like they tell you to close like the rivets, but never tell you how to. And that's right there is why these tradesmen are so important. It's like you know what's supposed to be done, but not a lot of times where that knowledge isn't passed down. It's just close them. How? Only the OGs will know how to properly. do
Right,
it.
right. Like you're expected to know the what without knowing the how and why.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, we've
all
got
the
all the
machines-
machines from elsewhere.
Yeah, I can put them in. And I've done a stack of them in my time. But there you go.
Yeah.
Aye, I think you know this fella.
He's
he's one of your
traction engine man. Yeah. How do you do? How you doing, mate?
All right.
Oh, what are you doing now?
Just removing the old studs.
Oh, it's brass now, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
These little holes, I mean, I'm looking at them, I thought it's a blow hole, but it isn't, is it?
No, it's drain
It's a drain hole, isn't it, from the inside of this receiver, like?
Yep.
When it's all coming out, condensing, and it runs out.
Yeah.
It's a good idea, that, isn't it? I think I'll do that to my tractor. Because, you're always full of bloody water that splashes about all over the place.
Yeah.
George was the guy who taught Graham,
Yeah.
who's our boiler foreman, all about the boilers from British Railways, because he was the chief London Midland region inspector.
All right, mate. Yeah. You will come having a look around your shed. And all, and see what you do.
I'll leave you with Graham,
Yeah,
Fred,
yeah,
and I'll
yeah,
see you
yeah.
later.
Yeah, all right, John.
Okay, then.
Yeah, see you, mate.
Right, see
This
you,
is
bye.
Yeah, I can see you putting bits in on the flange bit, aren't you?
Aye, you can see the one that came out. It's a bit worn, so we put some inserts in.
How have you got that out of there with a cutter?
Yes, a
With
plasma cutter.
acetylene?
Yeah. Aye, this is a copper tube like we've just finished, Fred. You can see the...
2 new pieces on the flanges. Eh?
That's right, and bring the tube holes and screw up the plate.
Yeah. It's ready for going in, isn't it? Like a brand new bit.
Yeah.
And this bit here is same treatment, hasn't it?
Yes, same treatment.
Yeah,
so the copper door plate.
yeah. Really, for anybody who's don't know anything about locomotive boilers, this is a wonderful example of explaining it nice and simple, you know. Like this big gap round here is full of water, and the stairs to these bolts that hold the plates together, if they weren't there and you lit the fire, it would no doubt blow up. And of course the fire is in this chamber. Really, we're looking where all the pipes will be and all the tubes that are necessary for its running. You can see there's been a lot of work done in this thing in years gone by, can't you? Because even the fire hole plate's been screwed in, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Originally, it will be riveted.
Originally riveted.
Yeah.
As it's been repaired.
Yeah.
At various railway works, they've taken the rivets out and put copper screws in. Yeah. No, when it was originally built, it was all monostage.
Yeah. As they've failed, they've put only copper ones in.
Yes, as they've gone up a size.
Yeah. Let me heck. Yeah. Wow. Oh, and then we all know what sort of a struggle that'd be.
Goodness gracious. I didn't have an appreciation for it or know how it worked until now, and just how it all goes together. It's like mad respect to them back then for putting monstrosities like that together.
It's just for me, man. It's the stuff they were working with back then is just so heavy. It's inconceivable to me because, like, okay, I get that. Like, I've worked on big walls and houses and renovations before, but nothing like cast iron heavy. That's a different level, man. I appreciate that so much to like maneuver these massive pieces of metal that if something fell could just take you out. Like, oh my god, I don't know, man. That's crazy.
I'm sure some people did, pass away because they're so big and they fell down.
Yep, done. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Wow.
Those are parts of Thomas the Tank Engine we did not see.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
Fred spent so long in the boiler shop that by the time he had left, the last train had departed, so there was no time for any footplate rides here. It was time to move on. From Bridgnorth, he had to get to the Black Country Museum in Dudley to find out how the chains that are used for steering his engine were made. Chains made in the Black Country were renowned for their quality all over the world. At the end of the 19th century, 90% of all the chain workshops in England and Wales were here in the Black Country. Most of them were very small, in the backyards of the workers' houses.
Stop.
They'd managed to find their way.
Okay, somebody in the comments, please tell me, like that little area there with like this covered shed, was that on Peaky Blinders?
Ooh,
because I recognize that from it. Like a lot of people have asked us to check out Peaky Blinders. I've seen the entire series, and I'm waiting for the movie to come out. But I just recognize that. Someone, please tell me.
Awesome. I've never seen it, and my wife loves it. So.
Oh, okay. All right, then. We'll leave that there for now.
way here, even though you won't find the Black Country marked on any map.
Let's go and have a look at this pit.
Yeah, all right.
It's an industrial area to the west of Birmingham that was originally based on coal mining and ironworking. It got its name in the 19th century, when thousands of chimneys filled the air with smoke and mining turned the ground inside out, creating huge expanses of industrial dereliction.
It's not as nice looking as your headgears.
No, I didn't, is it?
They've not put any shaped sections on.
This cage is new, you know, since we last came. Hey, look at this, a draining trough for winding water, eh? Up comes the thingamabob, budoosh, and down the trough into the river. Yeah, it's all interesting stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at all these wheels.
I don't think there's anything connected.
And there's always going to be an engine to have a look at.
Yeah.
That's only a little, isn't it?
Yeah, nice though, isn't it? Yeah, got the drum outside, haven't they, in another shed.
Did you say that at George's Lane pit was similar size to
exactly
that?
the same as this, yeah. Nice engine.
What would that spring be for?
I don't know, there's a point. Big spring, I know, start it, this lever here, this, that one, when you lift it up, it lifts the...
Lift it off that thing?
Yeah, and the eccentric rod came along and worked a way shaft across here. 1860s on this engine, you can tell. Yeah. Musical, isn't it? Look at that. An electric storm lamp. Yeah. Well, there's the indicator board there, isn't there? We'll have made one of them, won't we?
They're going to park the engine up and stay around here tonight, ready for their visit to the chainmaker tomorrow.
All right.
As well as the chain making, Fred is going to one of the places where all the copper for an engine like this was mined, and he's going to find out how the copper was spun and made into parts for the engine.
All right. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Look at that. Another great episode. More things that I wanted to know that I didn't know I wanted to know.
Yeah. That's pretty much it, man. This is just pure interesting, man. This is
pure interesting and just like, you know, just thinking about all we've done on ETS, you know, checking out sports, music, comedy, like just stuff in your face. And it's good to just come back down to earth for a little bit.
I love this.
Do something like this.
Yep, I love this. It's like just a step away. Like you're stepping back and you're just, I don't know. I know it sounds stupid. Like you're just watching something. Like this is a program that I would watch if it was on TV right now.
Yeah, 100%. Same here. Somebody in the comments, please let us know, is Seven Valley Railway still in operation today? And what other like historically preserved railways are there across England, Wales, Scotland, maybe Northern Ireland? Because I'd love to see that. That'd
be awesome, man. Get in touch and then you drive a train.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe not one with passengers, but still. Okay.
Yeah, one with I don't know, eggs.
Yeah, eggs. Eggs would be fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, awesome.
Now, without a question, it's a 2 thumbs up one.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait for the next one.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. Somewhere around to subscribe and watch another video. Wash your hands, scrub your toes, wipe your butt, blow your nose, embrace the suck.
Unplug and do something epic, guys.
See y'all in the next one.
Later.